Hello, welcome to KCBC News. I'm your host, Lisa Thomas Cutts, and Executive Director for the Keep Columbus Beautiful Commission. Today we have a great show for you guys. It's a little bit of overcast out here, but we're gonna make it work. Stay tuned, it's gonna get pretty green. Welcome back. We have two great local arborists today. They may be even national, but we'll find out from them. Okay guys, let's start with introductions. Let everybody know, those who may not know you, your name, title, positions.
Okay, I'm George Barker, and I'm a consulting arborist and a consulting forester, and I provide arborist services to Trees Columbus, and so I am their consulting arborist.
And I am Eric Ganzauer. I work for the City of Columbus, Georgia in the Forestry Division. My title is Forestry Administrator. I'm also the Senior Certified Arborist on staff with the City of Columbus.
That's a lot of responsibilities. Why don't we start with you, George? Share a little bit about what your job duties are.
Well, my job duties, we look at where we can make canopy improvements for the City of Columbus, and we've been working with a parks project that started really back in 2018 with our canopy restoration project, where we've taken parts of the city and done some tree inventories and looked for where we have problems. And right now we've been focusing on Lake Bonham Park and Theo McGee Park, and so we've sort of isolated some old trees that could use a little bit of tender loving care, and then and we're trying to come up with a replacement plan so residents 50 years down the road will be able to enjoy the canopy that exists in that park, in those parks today.
And that is so important. Okay, Eric, tell us a little bit about what you do on a daily basis and some of your responsibilities.
My main responsibility with the city is the new development, making sure that the developers meet the requirements of our tree ordinance. Any new development that happens, there has to be a tree plan, a tree preservation plan. If there's trees that are proposed for preservation, that they're properly protected. If they're new plantings, then are the trees going to be able to work here? Are they going to live here? And then there's also follow-up, because with commercial planting, according to our ordinance, those trees have to be there forever.
Guys, trees are so important. Why, can you explain a little bit about to the viewers, because a lot of people don't know. They see trees, they're beautiful, they're the canopy. We learn about trees from an early age in school, but in the big scheme of things, a lot of people don't really know about how important trees are. Which one do you want to tackle that one?
Well, I will. Eric can add to it, but trees are important because, first of all, they clean the air and they clean water, and that's two of the really big things. And I guess a lot of people don't understand how that works, but, the tree roots are able to take particles and chemicals that wash off of roads and stuff like that. And if we can get that water to get absorbed into the soil instead of just running off into creeks and into drainage ditches, then, the trees have the ability to clean that water for us. And so, and they do the same thing with taking particles out of the air. When they take in the carbon dioxide as part of the photosynthesis process, they give off oxygen, but it's clean oxygen. And when it comes in as carbon dioxide, it's got some harmful chemicals and metals attached to it. Of course, we can't see it because they're all in the gas state, but and then it puts out clean air. So, those are some of the real big benefits that trees provide. Of course, they provide shade. When we go on a picnic, where does everybody want to sit? And sometimes we have a rough time at construction sites because we want to preserve the tree, but all the workers want to have lunch under the tree. So it's exactly. Sort of that. But and trees are just fun. People love to, like say, picnic under them. People love to play hide and seek behind them, and they do a lot for social health, as and really just mental health for people as well. So You know, they provide so many benefits. It really gets difficult to put them all in a basket.
Exactly. And as a kid, who didn't try to climb a tree once or twice?
Absolutely. Well, this guy right here still climbs
We
them.
still climb trees.
Okay, and do you want to add to that, Eric?
I just wanted to emphasize the shade and the cooling. You know, we talk about urban heat islands, and you know, we're standing on a big patch of concrete right here. Come July, this area is going to be awfully hot. But we do have shading around us here that helps to mitigate that somewhat. And of course, you know, the larger trees that we can plant, the more shade we have, the more canopy we have. You know, we hear and talk about global warming or climate change. You know, I'm from Pennsylvania. I don't like it hot in the summertime here, and summertime starts in April and ends in October. And you know, I like shade. I can't understand why people want to cut trees down to grow grass, but you know, it is what it is. But you know, I think one of the most important things, and if you go downtown, you know, our uptown area is one of the most shaded uptowns that I've been in since I've been in the South, and you know, you can see what the draw is for people down there.
Absolutely. It's so important, and if you visit various cities, you don't see that in both uptown, downtown areas,
Right.
as we notice. Let's talk a little bit about Tree City, USA. Columbus has been a big part of it, and this year, what year are we celebrating?
45 years. I was just up yesterday to the State Arbor Day celebration in Cumming, and Columbus is the longest Tree City USA in the state, and so we will be having a celebration here in about a week and a half in Lake Bottom Park.
Yep.
Exactly. Okay, and for those of you viewers who may not know, what exactly is Tree City USA? What exactly does that organization do?
Tree City USA comes out of the National Arbor Day Foundation out of Nebraska. J. Sterling Morton began Arbor Day in 1872, and it has spread across the country. National Arbor Day is actually in April. It's the last Friday in April, but we're in the South, so we can have it earlier. And February, the last third Friday in February, is Arbor Day in Georgia.
Exactly. And I think when Mr. Sterling started in 1872, his goal was to plant 1 million trees, and he did that.
Oh yeah.
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 Okay.
Well, and we have a president, H.W. Bush, that started the Million Tree Initiative in 1988, which is why we have tree councils, state tree councils, and so on going on. So that's been going on since 1988 as well.
Okay. Great information. Trees sometimes, we love trees, but sometimes they can get I guess, bad reputation. Often because of the weather. We have a lot of weather issues. And sometimes we have homeowners that, you know what, let's get rid of these trees. But you really don't have to get rid of trees if they're healthy. And so can you, one of you guys or both of you, kind of give your insight on to help our viewers lessen their fear of trees, we'll say.
Right. Yeah. You know, keep in mind that trees, when people weren't here, were growing out in the forest. They were growing all around. So when a tree limb fell out in the forest, it didn't bother anything because there was nobody around. Or if the entire tree failed and fell over, it didn't really bother anything. But now we're putting these trees in with human beings, and we have, like Eric was talking about, the sidewalk. We've got all kinds of pipes and lines running under the ground, and all those affect the tree roots. And so, you know, not only that, but we have buildings that go up that affect the sunlight and the lighting that the tree gets and the wind that the tree receives. So what you have to keep in mind is a tree is just like any other part of infrastructure. I mean, you know, we have to manage our storm drains. They get clogged every now and then. We have to clean them out. And trees are the same way. We expect them just to grow, but when we're going to do all these other things to them, cut their roots and cut their limbs so power lines can go through them, we just have to give them a little extra care. And so you know, that's where a professional, an arborist, can come out and, you know, give you some recommendations on what the things that, you know, that need to be done. We can't just expect to put a tree in the ground and just walk away and expect everything to be okay for the next 50 years.
Unfortunately, that's what a lot of us do.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Well, and a lot of the problems that we see after storms is really problems that were created probably 30 years ago. They just didn't manifest. Things happen in a tree very slowly. And so what we do today might affect that tree 50 years from now when a storm comes through.
That is good information. Good information.
If I could add, you know, trees are living things. You know, we go to doctors and, you know, we trust our doctors to give us information about ourselves. The living systems of trees, though, are different, and we, you know, always tend to think of that living system like we think of our living system, and it's different. And we need to understand that, and, you know, arborists that are coming along need to learn this is a tree, this is how the living system of this tree operates, and we need to do things to that living system that benefit it rather than hurt it. And too many times we do things that hurt it rather than benefit it.
That's good information. Good information. What is the best thing that you could say an individual could do just right off the bat regarding protecting their own home, their tree canopy around their home?
Well, I mean, first of all, you can hire, you know, an arborist or professional to come out there and to do evaluation. But you know, it's sort of the collective thing when we deal in an urban environment, and that's sort of what we deal with at trees. Is, you know, we're looking at the entire tree canopy. We're looking at everything, and so you know, we ask, you know, people to come and get involved with us and see what we're doing. I mean, not only do we need financial support because we are a nonprofit, but we need advocacy. We need people that are, you know, say, hey, I like the trees in our parks. We want to be involved with it, because sometimes it involves, you know, calling an elected official and say, hey, we want to get behind this movement. And so, you know, that's where we, you know, we sort of look at the collective trees within the entire community more than just individual yards. But you know, that's what I, you know, get involved.
Absolutely. And at the end of the show, we'll share information on how you can get in contact with these guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go to break, but we're going to come back and explain and tell you about an exciting activity we have next weekend.
Hey, I'm George Barker, and I'm the arborist for Trees Columbus, and you're watching KCBC News.
Keep Columbus Beautiful is having their Arbor Day celebration of trees Saturday, February 18th from 11 to 1 at the band shell at Lake Bottom Park. Come out for this free family fun event and enjoy games, prizes, giveaways, food trucks, and more. That's Saturday, February 18th, 11 to 1 at Lake Bottom Park.
Welcome back. We've had some great information shared by George and Eric, and right now we're going to discuss something that's going to be a great event. We need you guys there. February the 18th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., we will be at the Lake Bottom Park band shell, and we're going to have our citywide Arbor Day celebration. And it's going to be a great event. We have a host of community partners participating, Columbus Parks and Rec, Public Works, Columbus Recycles, sponsors like Columbus Waterworks, Pratt Whitney, Trees Columbus, Girl Scouts. We're going to have the sheriff. It's just a whole host of community partners, including food trucks. We're going to have even some free food giveaways, face painting. I mean, just a host of activities planned for you guys. But these guys here, they're going to be there. So, George, let the public know, what are you going to be doing that day?
Okay. Well, Trees Columbus, we'll have our booth with some information about the organization and what we do. We're also going to be doing a little bit of a demonstration and discussion about what our plans at Lake Bottom Park are, and how, you know, it's about planting trees and restoring canopy, but it all starts with the soil, and we need to bring life back to our soils in our urban areas. So that's one of our key components to this. So we'll be going and talking about that. We'll be planting 3 trees.
Okay.
So,
awesome. But before the tree planting, what happens? Are we going to take down a tree or 2?
No, we're not taking down a tree or 2.
Okay.
No, we, you know, with that many people around and having equipment and that kind of stuff, it's just too dangerous. So,
Okay, okay. I thought.
but we will have a discussion about why some of the trees eventually will come down and why they're coming down eventually, and how they're going to be utilized. Because when we take them, some of these trees out that are no longer really providing the benefits that they have and actually can present some danger, we're going to chip them on site and use that mulch on site. So the trees won't be hauled away to a landfill. They'll be used on site to help the next generation of trees.
Okay. I thought we were gonna do a tree taken down the day before that for the location that we were gonna be planting. So I guess that I didn't get an update on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to put you on the
You
spot.
missed the memo.
I missed the memo because it's like, okay, he's gonna chop it down the day before and he's gonna plant right there. I missed that.
Well,
okay.
we've had a lot of rain,
Yeah.
and it's really not a good time. I talk about soil health, and one of the things to do is to stay off of soil with heavy equipment when we've had the rain that we've had, and it's just been so wet and so so mushy out there at the park that we just didn't feel like it would be in the best interest. And Eric and I had discussed that, and we just figured that it just wouldn't be in the best interest at this time.
And I think that's a lesson what you're saying right there, because it's a lot of heavy rain, and people love to walk at parks. Like it's been raining several days.
Yeah.
Is it a good idea to go out that next day and walk?
Well, there's a lot of natural paths and stuff like that, and that's really what we want to try to do is steer people. There's a great walking path around Lake Bonham, but we like to try to start emphasizing if we can keep on certain areas, so we let the rest of the area stay natural. And,
Okay.
and that's what we're part of the whole big picture of this.
Okay. Eric, what are you going to be doing?
We are going to have some of our forestry equipment there, as well as our right-of-way folks. My division with the city also takes care of the mowing and so forth along the city right-of-ways around town. So we're going to bring them in a little bit too, to show people just what it is that the Forestry and Beautification Division does for them. I'm planning to have some informational brochures and storyboards ready to show exactly what our crews do when they're out. And I'm also going to put together a pamphlet as to what a homeowner can do to make sure that when they are purchasing tree work from contractors, that they get a good contractor that's properly licensed with the city, and give them pointers as to what questions they need to ask when they're interviewing them for the work that they want done.
Okay. I remember there was a time even when y'all bought the big bucket trucks and the kids were able to ride in the bucket trucks.
That was a while ago. Our risk management people decided that is something that
Wasn't
we want to
good.
step away from. So.
Okay.
And Lisa, we will be giving out seedlings. We're going to have dogwood, red buds, persimmon, and a variety of different oak trees. So
that is
come
great.
out and get some seedlings. And
Kids and adults really love those seedlings.
they really do.
And they have so much fun coming home, bringing those seedlings. Let's plant. They give them out in
Yeah.
schools. Just a host of communities and individual organizations. They always give out the seedlings. And I know Trees Columbus, they do a great job with seedlings.
Yeah. Well, and it's so fun to watch. You get to
Watch-
see the growth. You get a big tree put in a landscape, and it's harder to notice the growth every year. But with the seedling, kids just love watching them grow. And
Absolutely.
they're a lot of family fun.
I have a personal story about a seedling coming to my home, and we planted it, and every day is like, did it grow? Did it grow? Is
Yeah.
it any bigger?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different when you have a plant, and it kind of a little faster.
Yeah.
But a tree, it takes a little longer. But over time, it's like wonderful.
Yeah.
They grow up with that tree.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference
it
from a
is.
little plant.
It is.
Okay, guys, anything you want to close out and add to community, share with the community about, tell them why they need to come out one last time.
Okay. Just come out and be a part, be involved, and it's always a fun experience, and just have a good time, and that's the nice thing about trees is you can just go out and have fun with them, and so we just encourage everybody to come out and have a good time.
It's only a couple of hours. It's family time. Bring your kids, bring your spouse. Enjoy the park, enjoy the weather, and enjoy the trees.
There you have it. February the 18th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come out and enjoy the fun. Thanks so much guys, for coming on.
You're welcome.
Stay tuned. During the break, we're going to show highlights from our MLK celebration. We had a lot of fun today talking about trees and Arbor Day with Eric and George. And also, please come out and join us for our citywide Arbor Day celebration, February the 18th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. This concludes our show, and I'll end by saying what I always say, what are you doing to keep Columbus beautiful?